This is the show. Yael, how are you?
So I'm a part-time bartender and a waitress, and a lot of people think this is really cool when I tell them because they're like, how did you get a bartending job if you're 18? But the story isn't really about how I got the job, it's more about the clientele at my job because they're really cool. Because I work at a really hip place. How can I describe the clientele? They're kind of cranky, like if you've been a waiter, you know what that's like. They're sometimes kind of ornery, and they're also all over 80 years old. Because I'm a bartender at a retirement home. And at first this job was really hard because a lot of the residents have dementia and other medical issues, and sometimes it's hard to serve them. They yell at you or they tell you you got the wrong order even though you got the right order. It was really hard. It's really emotionally taxing, actually. And one of my first days on the job, I gave this lady a basket of French fries with a paper underneath, you know, those baskets, and I handed it to her. And she looked at me with a really worried face, and she said, "Are you going to make me eat the paper? Do I have to eat it?" And I don't know why I said it, I really shouldn't have, but I just wanted to be funny, and I was like, "Yes." She started crying. And that was really bad. I should have listened to my boss who told me not to make jokes. But I got better at the job, and I started taking bigger roles at the nursing home. I started waiting on this table that's notoriously really hard to wait on because it's this couple that is really hard of hearing, so they just scream at each other for like 10 minutes, and you kind of have to stand there awkwardly. And it's the same routine every time. The man is like, "What do you want to order?" And then the lady's like, "Whatever you want." And then he's like, "Well, what do you want?" And it just goes on for literally 10 minutes. And one time they were doing this, and he was like, Do you not even care what we order?" And this has become one of my favorite quotations ever, but the lady was like, "I'm too weird to care." And I ran away laughing, I didn't know. And another time, a lot of them can hear, so they all talk loud. And I was serving this table of all men and one woman, and she ushered me over. She was like, "I need to tell you a secret." So I was like, "Okay," and she went like this, and she was like, "I'm constipated!" And she was like, "Don't tell these other men, you know it's embarrassing, you know what it's like to be a lady, I don't want them to know I'm constipated. Please bring me a cup of prune juice in a styrofoam cup, I'm constipated, don't tell them." And they were sitting right there, literally here, and they heard her. But I was like, "Of course, I'll bring it to you." And my favorite lady there, I used to actually really be afraid of because she's really intimidating. She doesn't really move her mouth when she talks, and she's really non-expressive, and she talks in a monotone voice. So I used to think she just hated me until I realized she just does that. So one time, she was ordering food, and she does this thing where she uses really aggressive words when she's ordering food. It's really bizarre. One time, she was like, I was like, "How are you? What do you want to eat?" And she was like, "I would like some chicken cut up, but not too much, so I can still manipulate it." Literally like that. I was like, "Whoa." She's always like, "I want a better fork so I can butcher my food. I want to stab this food." She always does it, and so I really like it. And yeah, people think it's cool that I'm a bartender, but then when I tell them that I'm a bartender at a nursing home, they're like, "Oh, that must suck." But it doesn't suck, I really like it.